Hi there, my name's Diane Dever and today we're going to take our own tour of Folkestone Triennial artworks. The great thing about Folkestone Triennial is that you can take in the artworks in any order you like. But today I'm going to be joined by Atlee and we're going to wind our way down from Folkestone's East Cliff, where I'm standing at the moment, amongst Sara Trillo's beautiful artwork called Urnfield. So this is Sara Trillo's work, Urnfield, and these sculptures are inspired by the ancient burial urns that were found in Folkestone during the Iron Age. And each sculpture reflects a part of one of those old pots, a rim, a handle and a base. And they're connected to a specific plant found nearby. You can see the seeds in one of the pots behind us. They're made from chalk cob, a fragile building material. And this work connects us to the people and plants of the past and to the land itself. So what I love about this piece of work is that you approach it slowly and it kind of reveals itself in the landscape and you're kind of curious about what it is. Atlee, do you want to tell me what you think about when you see this piece of work?
Well, the first thing that caught my eye was the material and the way that it's woven into the history of Folkestone with the plants that grow naturally here. But my first impressions when I saw it were how it kind of resembled a bird's nest. But the more I look into it, the more it is apparent that it's to do with the history of Folkestone and the culture that it has. And yeah, it's definitely quite an interesting piece of art from Sara Trillo.
This is Jennifer T's work called Ocean's Tree of Life. And it's a sculpture that lies in the coastal grass and is shaped like sea kelp flowing in water. It is made from coloured bricks and fused sea glass. The artist was inspired by sea kelp forests which help the planet and support sea life. The work links ancient life to the present, reminding us that the sea is a place where life begins and endures. And Jennifer's really interested in the idea of the tree of life. So we all came originally, one way or another, from the sea. And of course it's trimmed in its beautiful white shells, which is a conversation with the white cliffs. And I just love its location. It really encourages us to think about this edge and the sea and its intertidal activity.
My first impressions, probably the scale of it. It's not something that you can take in all at one go, so it's just nice to have an explore, and as you make your way up the piece you can kind of see more and more small details like the etchings and the imperfections in the brickwork. I also like how it kind of makes us reflect on our history with the sea and how humanity's kind of evolved from life in the ocean.
So this is Afterlife by Paterson, and here you can see tiny little objects and they're called amulets. There's about 200 of them. And amulets come from many cultures across the world and they are symbols of protection. And each one of these has been recreated using material from places harmed by climate change. Katie spent a lot of time researching amulets that exist in museum collections around the world. The material that's been used comes from things like melting ice or sea coral or rising seas. And the work connects ancient ideas with the world today, and it reminds us to care for nature and for each other. There are so many things I love about this work. One, that we get to come into this beautiful, amazing Martello tower, and the circular table that's been created to beautifully hold these precious objects. It's just a very multi-layered piece of work. It's very beautiful.
I think this might be my favourite one out of all of them. Just the scale of it and the attention to detail, and especially learning what each amulet is made from. But yeah, I think it's just really fun to go around and look at each amulet and try and guess what culture it's come from and what it could be made from. So yeah, I found the catalogue quite intuitive. It's quite easy to read. It's got the origins of each material that the amulet uses. Yeah, so one that I read about, the rat over there, and it's eating a small vegetable, and it's actually made from the eggshell of a Madagascan bird which went extinct as a result of human action.
So this is a work by Dineo Seshee Bopape, and it's called Ka Peko Ye, which means curse dissolved, the long story in English. And it's a meditative offering on ancestral memory, entanglement and transformation. Through symbolic mapping and mineral memory, this work holds a blessing, dissolving inherited burdens, refusing transference and inviting release. The curse does not continue, it transmutes. We are asked, how do we allow energy to shift, to move and to truly change? From what I understand, Dineo's using this kind of form as a way of releasing those burdens so that we don't carry the trauma from one generation to the next. And then there's this spirit house on top, and when this was put into place, there was a ritual that was performed to bless the ground before it was lifted on.
I like how sort of loose the craftsmanship is, allowing parts to be seen through to reveal the seaweed and the sticks and straw that's sort of trapped inside. Since it's so close to where I live, yeah, it's something that I'll be able to see every day. I will enjoy watching people's reactions, how they might interact with the piece, because it is so big and it takes up so much of the eye line around here.
So this is Rae-Yen Song's work called Song Dynasty, and it's a colourful beast floating above us. With soft folds and many faces, it is shaped by stories from the past, and one day will come alive when worn by the artist's family in a future performance. This creature mixes traditional Chinese dragon and lion dance costumes with sea creatures and worms. It floats as a shining shelter, an armour and a refuge. And you can see on top the glass blown, almost like heads, and they were actually made by her parents. And yeah, it's just wonderful to see it here in the church, kind of nestled in the roof. It's a perfect fit for it. And what's wonderful about the Triennial is it really gives people the chance to see spaces they might not usually visit. And certainly for me, St. Peter's is one that I haven't been in that often. And it's such a wonderful space.
I've heard that the artist's use of a worm's reference to the sand mason worms on the beach, which are the ones that create all the small holes in the sand. But yeah, I really like how the fabric flows over one another and the many heads that appear. You sort of have to look at it from all angles to kind of appreciate the whole thing.
ancient time, a force unseen, a tale of nature's might, a world pristine.
This is Emeka Ogboh's work called Ode to the Channel, and it's a multi-channel sound installation that explores the English Channel as a site of rupture, memory and connection. Inspired by geological research and the history of human movement, the work transforms scientific and historical insight into a rich choral experience. So what I love about this piece is its location. You're listening to it whilst looking out at the channel, and it is a celebration of the channel, and it starts with the moment the channel was created. So the rupture from tens of thousands of years ago, when the last glacial melt came through and broke the connection between here and the rest of the continent. And just to be able to hear this at different times of day, different states of the tide, in celebration of, you know, human history, human movement, migration, people coming and going, I think it's a really beautiful piece to immerse yourself in.
Well, I actually didn't know about how the channel was formed, so it's nice to learn. And the artist has also worked with the other senses and has worked with Herbert's, who's down the road, and Dockers, to make an ice cream that tastes like sea salt, and a beer called Doggerland, which is the name of the land bridge that was destroyed. Yeah, I'll probably try both. I think to get the full experience, try both.
So thank you so much for joining us. We've had a brilliant time walking around, looking at the artworks, discussing the themes of this year's triennial, How Lies the Land. And I really invite you to do the same. Get your friends and family together, go out, walk around, grab a guide from the Quarterhouse and see what it is the artists are asking us to think about.